I have tried recording this 4 times. This is the fifth time. Every single time, something or the other has broken my recording, and specifically in the voice part. I really hope that this one goes perfectly. But looking on the positive side, though, I have improved each time I record. So maybe this is just practice. Anyways, so this seems to be a year of Batman, and I say that because obviously there is the Batman, Matt Reeves Batman coming out, which is I think now it is 2 days, no 3 days from now because it's 2 a.m. here. Anyways, it's 3 days from now, and then there is Morbius, which I'm going to talk about in this video. And Morbius obviously gets his powers from bats, vampire bats to be specific. So in a way, he's also Batman, and he also controls bats. So yeah. And then you have Moon Knight, who is called by lot Marvel's version of Batman. Now I don't call him that because I know he's not. He's he's like completely different, but you know, people will call him whatever they wanted to call him. Anyways, so jokes aside, I saw this trailer when I was uploading the previous video, and I was surprised because I thought Morbius already had a final trailer, but then I realized no, that's the official trailer. This is the final trailer. The reason I'm making this video is because I want to talk about a couple of things real quick, maybe three things, I'm not sure. Number one, what I think Michael Keaton's role is going to be in the movie after watching this trailer. Now, up until now, like if you cast your mind back to the very first trailer for Morbius, which was released way back in 2019, good times. If you cast your mind back to that, you will remember that Michael Keaton's character was inserted towards the end as a end banger, and so obviously everyone assumed that it's Vulture that he's playing. And but now after seeing all of these two trailers, and after seeing this a particular trailer, I feel like he's not exactly the character that we know from the MCU. Uh, so let me clarify what I mean. So back when the first trailer for Morbius came out, everyone was like, "Oh, is this in the MCU?" Because there is the Vulture, and then there is this poster on the wall somewhere in the trailer where Spider-Man is labeled as murderer, but at the same time it looks like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Then the second trailer came out, the official trailer, and things become a little more complicated because in that trailer, Morbius says, "I am Venom." And obviously, that's a reference to Venom, and he can only do that if he's in the same universe as Venom, which is not the MCU. Okay, did I get that right? Yeah. So, anyways, but now after seeing this trailer, it looks like Michael Keaton's character is going to have a much more a much more bigger role than just like a brief cameo or anything. And what makes me say that he's not the exact same character as the MCU character is number one, obviously this is not the same universe, but that can be circumvented because we have the multiverse explanation. But secondly, if you look at Michael Keaton's character in this scene, if you look at his clothing looks very similar to the clothing that was worn by this hospital worker when he was in this scene where he's being chased down the hallway by something or someone. I initially assumed that it's Michael Morbius, but now I don't think it's Michael exactly. I'll come back to that why in a second. But yeah, I feel that Michael Keaton's character in this is still Adrian Toomes, as in he's still Vulture in a sense, because to include him in the trailer like this, to show him playing this role, and then to not make him be the Vulture is kind of a bummer. So I don't think Sony will do that, although I can't put it past. But anyways, so yeah, I feel that Michael Morbius is sorry. I feel that Michael Keaton's character is uh, playing a hospital worker in this case, or at least someone who is undercover as a hospital worker. And I say that because if you look at this particular scene in the trailer, it almost looks like he's working with the law enforcement, and almost like somehow he's partially responsible for Michael Morbius's capture. I mean, I'm assuming it's his capture, but like he's all hooded up and I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't make a lot of sense that uh, he would be able to help in that if he was jailed, as he is in the MCU. So yeah, it makes a lot more sense to me that this is like a variant of the Vulture, and this is like in this universe, Adrian Toomes is maybe working with law enforcement somehow and helping him capture Michael Morbius. Yeah, that was a doozy. I hope I don't sound like an idiot. Getting moving to other things. Uh, I was talking about this hallway scene and how I don't think this is Michael. The reason I don't think this is Michael is twofold. Number one, uh, so there was this clip released when the release date of the movie was still in January, and in that clip, it showed basically the whole boat scene, and it seems like this is the first time. This is the first time that Michael is going to turn into the his vampiric self, and all of the trailers have also implied that he was found aboard this boat where after he disappeared, and he was found randomly aboard this boat. So it seems very likely that he'll transform into the vampire for the first time in that boat. And it also seems like Michael is not the kind of character who would just willy-nilly go around killing people. Although it is mentioned in this trailer that he has to drink blood or he will die, which is a very interesting dynamic because he's a doctor. The point I'm trying to make is it feels like he's going to be more in control as the movie goes along. And so it's less likely that in this hallway scene, which I'm presuming happens after this boat scene, that it's going to be Michael chasing this guy down. It's much more likely it's going to be it's going to be Matt Smith's character, Lucius Crown, or better known as the Hunger, who is a recurring villain for Michael Morbius in the comics, I guess. I'm just going by the word of our Lord and Savior Eric Voss. What I feel is the reason I feel this is Lucius Crown is because so Michael is a doctor, right? And the reason he goes to find this cure is because not only does he want to cure himself, he also wants to cure other patients who are suffering from this similar disease, and that's signified in the trailer by the help of this little girl that he's treating, who presumably also has the uh, same disease. I completely went on for a tangent. So what I'm trying to say is it would make a lot of sense for the final battle to take place in a hospital. The final showdown to take place in a hospital. Not just any hospital, specifically the hospital where this little girl is kept. And so what I feel is that the person chasing this guy down is Lucius Crown, or the Hunger, and that this is going to be sort of the beginning of the final conflict of the film, and it will go wherever it goes from there. And now, anyways, coming to the main thing that I wanted to talk about from this trailer, that is, so towards the end of the trailer, this detective places a vial of holy water in front of Michael.
Holy water? Really?
Yeah. You ever see Lost Boys?
Story of my life.
Now, personally, I hadn't heard of Lost Boys, but when I googled it, I realized why. Because number one, it's a very old movie; it's a 1987 movie to be precise, and it's a horror movie, which is not my thing. There are a lot of interesting parallels that I noticed in between these two movies. For example, there's a guy called Michael in this movie, who is at least like one of the main characters, and he's tricked into becoming a vampire by the sort of villain of this story, and after that he has to sort of control his urges, obviously, and his skin is sort of sensitive to the sunlight, his eyes are sensitive to the sunlight, but he doesn't really die if he goes in the sun. He can still walk in the sun, is what I'm trying to say, just like Michael can still walk in the sun. And yeah, also, and there is this scene in apparently in this movie where there is this vampire who is drowned in a pool of holy water and garlic, and he's burned to his bone that way. So I'm guessing that's what they're referencing. And I thought that's where the parallels ended, which is interesting in its own. But then I realized that this movie is directed by Joel Schumacher. Uh, the reason that is important is because in this movie we have Michael Keaton, and Michael Keaton played Batman, and in the same movie continuity where he was Batman, I think after two movies, I'm not sure, after a few movies, he was another actor was brought in to replace Michael Keaton, so, and the director was changed to Joel Schumacher because apparently there was something about the movies becoming too gritty. I don't know. Regardless, so Joel Schumacher was brought in, and then we got Bat Credit Card and Bat Nipples. I'm still not over that. But the main thing is, so Joel Schumacher is linked to this movie in this way. So what I'm trying to say is, Marvel, are you trying to tell me something? Or am I just looking too deep into this? I mean, think about it. Michael Keaton played Batman. Jared Leto played Joker, and they are meeting in this movie. And then there is also the fact that Jared Leto's character, Michael Morbius, is powered by, I mean, he gets his powers from bats and he can control bats. So he's like, he's actually like a Batman. And he's meeting a character who played a guy who played Batman previously. And then there is reference to a Joel Schumacher film who also directed Batman in the same continuity that this Batman was in. It's getting confusing, but seems too much to be just a coincidence. Like, it could be just a nod, but Marvel knows all of these things. Like, the thing I have learned is that Marvel knows what it's doing, and this is not Marvel, it's Sony, but I'm guessing Marvel is fairly involved in this. So I don't know, dude, what it's going to turn out into, but yeah, whatever. So I hope you liked my half ranty video about the Morbius trailer. And yeah, also, if you have reached this part of the video, I would like to point your attention towards Chekhov's novel, or rather my novel. The reason I'm calling it Chekhov's novel is because, Chekhov's gun is a concept that if there's a gun on the wall in a scene, the very next scene it should be in someone's hand, so it's a bad joke. But so this is a novel that I wrote, as you can see, G.C.Nightwalker, and I self-published it. It's a science fiction slash fantasy novel. I was going to say something about this novel, but it's 2:30 in the morning. I have to edit this video. I have to sleep, and I have lost the ability to form two coherent sentences at this point. So I'll just type something in the description. And if you like this video, and I hope that you like this video, and if you did, please click on the like button, and please subscribe, comment, share, all this wonderful stuff. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.